Hey, Black Barn Social Club, God bless America. Talking boots, and this is less of a show and tell and more of an update on a couple of things that are going on. And you'll have to forgive me because this is the third time that I have attempted to make this video. Sound was messed up, lights were messing up, so we're going to try to get through about 10 or 15 minutes of updates if we can, real fast. A few things going on. This is the you guys, I've teased this a couple of times. Both of these boots are Truman boots. This is the 79 last Java waxed flesh. This is the 56 last in Sesame double shot. I'm seeing already getting some wear on these things, scuffs on the shoes and everything. You're not going to keep them perfect. So the updates are as follows. This was the one that had the squeak in it, and I wanted to give a quick rundown of how we fixed this boot. Let me move a couple of things and get some stuff out of the way. So I took this to the local cobbler, and what we had was pretty specific. It was obvious. There was a nail on this front side of the heel lift, and you could just take it and twist it. You guys remember a couple videos ago that I was making it sound like a McDonald's straw. I'll save y'all the sound effects today, but it was it was every time I stepped, it was every time I walked. And it was annoying. Now it's the first time I've ever dealt with that on a boot before, to be honest. So and it's it's not a knock against anything. It's one of those deals. This was a used boot to me, so that's the reason why it's at least already in the condition it's in. So again, maybe that's why the guy got rid of it. Who knows? But I was not going to keep it, and I was not going to walk in it with it making that noise every time. So I take it to my local cobbler, and I gave him one set of instructions. I was like, please leave the Eugene regrind heel. I did not want to lose this. I did not want to that's one of the reasons why I got the boot. And I'm so crazy about it. So if he would have told me no, that's impossible, I would have had him just re-sole it with like the honey lug sole, because I think that it's such a good look. But in this case, he told me he could just rebuild the back half, which they do that all the time. They replace the heel stacks on them all the time. So the only trick is that. And I can kind of see where he had to manhandle it. I was afraid he would tear this up when he was pulling it off, and he did it on both boots, by the way. Both boots got touched up, and from what I can tell, I've looked it over. I've looked at how he did it, and you guys may be interested in this, but he did pull out the sock liner or the leather insole that covers everything. He pulled that out on both boots. He pulled the complete heel stack off. He re-glued everything. It looks like to me he reused everything. But I can see the glue. I can see all the additional nails. He told me what he did, but I can see everything, and then I can see where he kind of put it all back together and kind of touched it up with the sanding. So that being said, going to be wearing those today. Just tickled to death to have them back. It took, I guess he's kind of busy, because that took him about a week and a half, 2 weeks by the time I could get up there and get them picked up. So not too bad. I think he charged me $40, and that's I don't know if that's fair or not. I've never really taken something to a cobbler to get them to work on it, so I feel like it's fair for a couple hours worth of work probably. So. Got those back in the rotation. We'll see if the squeak goes away, I'll be tickled to death. If they don't, I'll be resoling them. And just FYI, he told me, I asked him when I was there, I said, how much do you charge to do that with that Vibram honey lug? And, in Middle Tennessee, his pricing, he just said $120. So I think, just for those of you guys that wonder why Goodyear welting, why spend the money to get a boot that's resolable, because you can take that and make it new again for $120. So thought that was useful information. Now, moving on to the second part of the update video, you guys remember these. These are the 56 lasted Trumans. And for me, for my situation, no question, it's a beautiful boot. No question, it's a gorgeous boot. No question, just look at that boot. So what I noticed with this lower profile, and I'm kind of recapping, so if you guys are loyal to the channel, my apologies for having to hear some of these stories twice, but you never know. You never know who's seeing this for the first time. But this is Truman's dressier last, and because of that, one of the differences or nuances of it is it's got this lower profile on the toes. I mean, this is an unstructured toe, so it's a bad one to show, but it's a little bit low too. But the 79 last has more volume throughout. This has a wider toe box, but lesser in volume. And of course, what I noticed with my high instep is after the first day's wear, this thing was crushing my instep right through here, right under these two, right under where the tongue attaches to the vamp, right under the first two eyelets. It was just, it was just like a migraine headache that didn't go away, and could not wait to get home. After that first 10, 11 hours of wearing them that day, I could not wait to get home and get them off my feet. And so I started kind of studying the boot a little bit and realized that I felt like what was going on was this situation here. Now, Gabe had pointed out, EDH Boulevard had pointed out that he noticed on his that because of the cap toe, he noticed the creasing was further back than on his other boots. And let me see if I can't show you now that I've had a little bit more wear in them. You can definitely see the creasing is moved. It's not so much here, but it's all the way back here. So I think that's mostly what is going on. You're getting all that flex because this is staying more, put together or more rigid. All that flex is coming back here, pushing on my feet. So I did not want to get rid of this boot. I did not want to give up on the last. I love the width of it, and quite frankly, it's one of the best looking aerial shots on a boot that I've ever seen. When you are wearing these around, the slimmer waist, the slimmer heel, the dressy toe box, it's just a gorgeous boot. So I started asking you guys, what should I do? And one of you guys came through like a champ and recommended this shoe stretcher. So this is an Amazon shoe stretcher. You should just be able to look one up. But they make them in two variations. They make them that are split this way and stretch wide, and they make them that are split this way and stretch tall. So this is obviously the tall version. And when it goes into the boot, the first thing I'll say, when it goes into the boot, you can noticeably tell that it fills up the volume exactly where I need it to be. So as soon as you do that, you just start twisting this, it expands, and that creates that stretch. Now, the directions, no more physics lessons, but that pretty much tells you straight up how they work. That you're just stretching the leather. It's just like what it sounds. So that being said, the instructions call for 48 hours roughly to stretch a pair. Because I had time, it was nasty raining outside. I didn't fool with, I wasn't trying to race and rush this thing. And I only bought one of these. You can buy two. But what I did was, I put it in one boot for 48 hours. I alternated. And I just did that back and forth for a couple of weeks. So long story short, each boot got about 5 days worth of stretching. Wore them all day yesterday. out, and even late yesterday evening to my son's practice and tennis game, and world of difference. I still feel the boot. I still feel the creasing. I still feel the shape of it, but it is a world of difference in how it fits now. So happy to say that the stretcher worked, the boots will work, and now that I've got that, I mean, I won't have to worry about this again. So I mean, the only thing I'm going to do is when these are out of rotation, I'll just, remember to put that back in and keep them stretched. Now, that concludes the update for both of these. Not a little bit of an update for what's next on the boot front. You guys have if you're loyal to the channel, or if you've been seeing some of the chat back and forth on YouTube, you know that I've got at least one pair of Nick's boots coming. Bought that secondhand off of EDH Boulevard. I know I've said this before, but the reason being is simple. I've never had a Nick's boot. There's no question that they have a following and a fan base. There's no question they have earned a reputation. But until I can hold a pair, until I can compare it to the 4 or 5 brands that I've worn, I'm trying to hold my opinion to see if they're worth it. I mean, they're certainly charging a premium for a handmade boot, and so in my opinion, there's we talked about loyalty and value, and we talked about the motorcycle, and name what's in a brand, and Harley Davidson and fanboys. We've talked about all that, but the gist of it is I mean, you will have people thinking about pistols. You'll have people that are Glock and Glock alone. There's actually maybe even where the term fanboy came from was Glock fanboys. There's no question they're a great pistol. There's no question that in the comment section alone, somebody will come in and say it's the greatest pistol ever made. I guess it's personal opinion. It's personal preference. It's years and years of testing, sure. But for every test that they've done, there's somebody else that's done another test, and somebody else that's done another test. And anybody can back up those things with whatever statements they want to. Very few opinions of fact, if that makes sense. There's very few statements of fact that you can make about a boot other than the leather is this thickness, the construction is this method, they used real materials or by hand or by machine, whatever. I mean, you can talk about that all day long, but when it boils down to it, if you're picking a boot and you've got a choice between a White's and a Nick's and a Truman and some people were putting in the comments not too long ago, you should try a JL boot, John Lufgren, you should try this boot. I mean, there's 1,000 boots out there. There's 1,000 makers. So for me, for my growth, I need to see. And so that means I know I'm going to get those from Gabe, and I'll be able to experience what a Nick's boot feels like. I know that at some point in time I'm going to have to get a Viberg so I can experience what that feels like, because I don't want to talk out, pardon my bluntness, but I don't want to be talking out of my ass and acting like I am all knowing about something when I've only got experience in a few things. So I'm going to keep on trying. I mean, that's the point of the channel. That's the point of what I'm doing here, is to keep experimenting. I'll spend my money so you don't have to, and I'll share my findings with you. But that being said, I've said this multiple times. I'm not cutting any boots in half. I'm not. I have yet to break out a micrometer, even though I might at some point, just because the finger test isn't necessarily the best one. But it's like any of these boots. I can pick one up and I can feel and I can see, and I can, I can gauge that way. I can walk in them. And to me, that's what I'm looking for with that Nix. I'm looking forward to is just to see if I can tangibly feel a difference that says, yeah, those guys are absolutely right. Or if I, just like that kind of, that non-scientific test I'm running with those Parkhurst stitch downs. I mean, I'm gonna wear them out every opportunity I get to go beat them up, working around the property, working, out in the field. I'm going to wear those just so I can, see. And I know there's a couple other people. I think I saw David's Garage. I think there are a few other people that are doing similar things with a Parkhurst boot. I mean, which again, most of us have given that it's a casual boot. And I've even taken some flack on here because people will go, well, that's kind of stupid because you're working a casual boot. Well, is it? I mean, is it stupid? That's a I don't know. I don't think it's stupid. I think it's. I think we're just. I think we're seeing what it can take. That's the point. And so I want to see what these Nix look like and they can do. There's a couple other boots that I'm waiting on. To be honest, there's in upcoming boot news, I've got I've got a pair of Uplands, Truman Uplands coming in Coyote Rough Out. So I'm excited to see what those look like. That'll be my first heavy lug Trumans to show up. And then speaking of heavy lug Trumans, you guys, if you're following Truman's tweets or Truman's whatever social media he's on, you've seen that they're about to drop here in a couple weeks that next 20 last, which is going to be the mock toe 20 last in Java waxed flesh. I was finally able to get him to respond to a couple of my posts, and so that came from Truman themselves. This is here in the next week or two. They're going to start hitting the site, and you should be able to get those in the crepe wedge sole. And then also, they confirmed that I should be able to get that in a heavy lug, which, again, it'll make something around here disappear, but it'll be worth it because I do love the way that Java wax flesh breaks in and starts to look. So it's almost I don't know how the camera. I mean, it probably looks a little black, but and in fact, that's what I thought it was when I saw Truman's post. Because new, it's just so full of the wax, it really does look black. But as it wears and all these, again, all these wear points, it starts to brown out and start looking like a coffee color. And man, I'm here for it all day. So that's all I got today. You guys be blessed. Looking forward to sharing the next couple of videos with you. If you've made it this long, do me a great service and tell me. So I talk about what this channel is. I talk about maybe the future of it because I'm still winging it. And again, I don't schedule these things. I don't plan these things. It really is us hanging out. But I'm curious. I look around at some of the stuff that I have an interest in. And I'm stopping short of pulling my guns out. I'm stopping short of making this about, that kind of gear. But I think about all the other stuff. And full disclosure, I probably have 20 or so bags. I mean, I'm a bag whore when it comes to backpacks, rucksacks, duffel bags, Filson. I mean, just you name it. And, messenger bags, leather. I've just got a bunch, and I'm just curious, would you guys be interested in seeing reviews on stuff like that? And you know that my reviews are redneck reviews. They're not, they're not professional. It's just a dude telling a bunch of dudes about gear. So if you guys are interested, let me know if you want to see more things like that, or if you've got an idea, start putting it out there. Because again, I hope to use the long-term format here, the long-term videos, to do more with my cars, more with my vehicles, more with the barn stuff, but also work in this style, work in these reviews, these talks, because again, I just enjoy the community we're building. You guys be blessed. I'm done. See you, bye.